Three, two, one, and we are live.
Hello, and welcome to our webinar, A Practical Guide to Disaggregated Networks. NTT Data and IP Infusion present Keys to Success. I'm Kelly LeBlanc, Chief Marketing and Product Officer for IP Infusion. And joining me today, we have a very special guest, Taiji Doi from NTT Data. IP Infusion and NTT Data have been working together for several years now to deliver open networking innovation. So here you can see our agenda for today. Our webinar runs for 45 minutes. We will start with an introduction to our speaker guest, followed by an introduction to network disaggregation and open networking. And then Doi-san will introduce NTT Data's open networking portfolio, as well as the IOWN network solution, which we've been working on for several years together as well. And then I will conduct a live Q&A with Doi-san. So please feel free to ask any questions that you have using the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen, and we will reserve time at the end to answer your questions as well. So with that, let's start with an introduction to our special guest. And I'd like our guest to introduce himself. So Doi-san, please introduce yourself and your company and tell the audience why you are qualified to speak about open networking.
Okay, thank you so much, Kelly. Good evening in US and good morning in APAC regions. I'm from the Japan, so good morning. So anyway, I'm Taiji Doi from NTT Data, the executive business promoter. I'm in charge of the open telecommunication network that include the disaggregated network. So I've been working in the telecommunication industry for more than 25 years, and that includes the disaggregated network. So actually, my background is a radio access network because just after the graduation, I started my career at the NTT Docomo. It's a sister company of NTT Data, a part of the NTT group. And also I was in charge of the router and the switches, the deployment in NTT Docomo and other companies. So I think I have both the wire and the wireless experience and capabilities. And now in NTT Data, NTT Data is a Japanese company, but a global company as well. So in Japan Lab, our team is developing the value-added solution on disaggregated network with the OcNOS. So this is essential to progress. So thank you very much.
Oh, yes, thank you so much for joining us today. So we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, so let's get started. So today we are speaking about a practical guide to disaggregated networks, and we also call this open networking. So it starts by separating the software from the hardware to give customers greater freedom and choice. Greater freedom and choice, and we do this with our OcNOS network operating system, as you can see here. So OcNOS provides an alternative to the incumbent or legacy vendor's equipment. And our value versus the incumbent equipment is lower cost, shorter lead times, greater flexibility, and a very simple licensing model. And on the other side, as you can see, we also compete against other open networking vendors. And we win against these open networking vendors because our software is proven with 25 years of deployment in the world's largest networks. So it's ready to run and fully supported. And this year we have celebrated our Silver Jubilee anniversary, celebrating 25 years of networking. So IP Infusion delivers the industry-leading advantage for open networking. So as you can see here, our OcNOS network operating system has over 700 modern networking features. We support over 40 white box hardware platforms, and over 100 transceivers have been qualified as well. And last year, we introduced to the market our IP Maestro network management platform. So this is an element management system that delivers a point-and-click GUI for easy OcNOS management. So we sell our software, we sell our network operating system software, or you can select the complete bundle from us with the software, hardware, and optics all together, including 24/7 support for peace of mind. And it is the same OcNOS that provides an end-to-end solution for service provider and data center use cases. So for this end-to-end solution across these use cases, we provide a single SKU for each of these use cases, from access to aggregation to core networks and to data centers. And here you can see some of our most popular features, including layer 2, layer 3, timing and synchronization, carrier Ethernet, segment routing, MPLS, MPLS with EVPN, EVP VXLAN, and streaming telemetry, and more. So we provide a very scalable software. So our software scales from 32 gigabits per second all the way to 51.2 terabits per second. And we are helping customers with their transitions, for example, from 100 gig to 400 gig, which includes our support for the 400 gig ZR Plus optics. And the IOWN network solution is very important for IP Infusion. And this is a solution that we deliver several of our main use cases for, including transport, data center, and data center interconnect. And we've been participating in the IOWN Global Forum to deliver the IOWN network solution together with NTT for several years. And we're going to Doi-san will give an overview on the IOWN network solution as well. All right. So with that, what I would like to do now is to turn it over to Doi-san for an update on NTT Data's open and disaggregated portfolio, how we are working together, and more. Doi-san, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Corey. So before we go, we need to consider the challenges the CSPs are facing. So the network become complicated more and more. So we need to consider the challenges to integrate the open network. So firstly, the CSP are facing network enhancement. As you can imagine, let's say in the mobile network, there are the several network, like the 3G network, 4G network, and the 5G network. So all of the operator have to operate three networks, so it's very complicated. And also the wire and the wireless network integration are now popular. So even mobile network operator have to operate the wire network and the vice versa. And also the borderless network. So you can imagine, we can utilize our smartphone around the world. So that's a roaming system, of course. So therefore, in order to keep the roaming system in the several generation networks, 3G, 4G, and 5G, so it's very essential to integrate the borderless network. Also, you can see the network virtualization and also the cloudification. That is very famous. Example in US, some operator bring up the core node into the public cloud. So therefore, we need to consider also the virtualization and the cloudifications. Next one, autonomous network. So as I said, the network become complicated more and more. That means that CSP need to cost more and more, but they have to reduce the cost, of course. So therefore, they need to integrate the autonomous network, the hyper automation, and also they need to integrate the end-to-end orchestration and network slicing. There are a lot of the cutting-edge solution for the 5G network. To monetize the 5G network, they need to consider both the reduction of the cost and the monetization. The third one is a monetization. And in 5G era, the B2B businesses are coming. So we need to consider how to monetize the 5G network for their client. That's the main three challenges the CSP are facing. But in order to solve these challenges, firstly, that's the most important things. All of the operators, all of the CSP try to solve these challenges directly. But before solving that challenges, they need to consider network virtualization. That's the most important things. Otherwise, they don't know the real challenges. Firstly, they have to have the network virtualization. And in order to make the network virtualization, then they need to integrate network disaggregation or open networking. So please go on to the next page. This is NTT Data's Open Telecom Network example use cases, or this is OTN we called. NTT Data have been working on the Open Telecom Network since 2015, and OTN is a part. Network disaggregation is a part of OTN. So in order to accelerate this kind of the activity in NTT Data, NTT Data started working with IP Infusion to integrate a fully open network. So there are the 4 examples of the OTN use cases. The number 1 is the performance automation of network and the data analytics. This is the performance monitor. And the next one, RCA and alarm correlation automation for operation. This is the fault management system. And the third one is the performance automation of network, the data analytics. This is the service problem, service operation. That's the last one, the network orchestration. This is the orchestration example in the mobile network. So this is just the example of the open telecom network the NTT Data are doing, but I'd like to add the more solutions with IP Infusion into our open telecom network use cases. So next, please. This is the IOWN. IOWN means the innovative optical and wireless network. IOWN is an initiative for further communication infrastructure to create a smarter world by using cutting-edge technologies like the photonics and the computing technologies. And IOWN consists of 3 major technical fields. All photonics network, number 1, APN. Digital twin computing, DTC. It's a kind of the application utilizing the APN. And number 3, the cognitive foundation, the CF. It's a platform with APN. So the network disaggregation is essential to the realized IOWN. So our collaboration between IP Infusion and NTT Data is a part of the IOWN. And the IP Infusion is a member of IOWN communities. The IOWN was led by NTT Holdings, especially the NTT R&D team. But the NTT Data, of course, a member of the IOWN, and the responsibility of the NTT Data in IOWN perspective is to create the new solutions with IOWN technologies. So NTT Data is not just the provider, not the system integrator, but the solution provider. We are solution provider. So firstly, what NTT Data have to do is to understand the current situation that include the customer's pain point, the customer's challenges, or something like this. Okay, the next one, the NTT R&D team are also developing the IOWN network solutions. you can see the partner of the NTT group, especially about a member of the IOWN, the OcNOS, of course, IOWN, IP Infusion, H-Core, and UFI-Space, the whitebox vendors, the Fujitsu and NEC in the mobile vendor, as well as the device vendors that include the optical device development. So the reason why the NTT or IOWN community develops the IOWN network solution is to reduce the power consumption. This is the main target. This is the main target. Of course, to progress the IOWN globally, but mainly there are the four reasons why NTT or IOWN team, IOWN community developed their solution. IOWN network solution is to build simplified and cost-effective transport network. 400 giga connectivity using open ZR plus optical for high speed and long distance transmission, and up to 50% cost reduction for network equipment, and finally up to 40% power saving. So, but basically, the IOWN need to solve the social issue, especially the power consumption. You can imagine there are a lot of the AI and the generative AI technology, and these kind of the technology are integrated into the several servers and hyperscalers cloud. So therefore, the power consumption increase more and more. You can imagine if you want to utilize generative AI and AI, then you need the power. So therefore, with IOWN solutions, the NTT group trying to reduce the power consumption to progress AI and generative AI. So go on to the next page, please. So NTT Data is thinking about the use cases of OcNOS solutions. So now NTT Data developing the solution on top of the OcNOS, and now the most important things, the OcNOS is not just routers. This is the open network platform. So that means that if you have a legacy router switching, then you can do the routing and switching, of course. And with OcNOS, of course, you can do the routing and the switching, but more than routing and switching, NTT Data is thinking about how to make it happen with OcNOS. So of course, NTT Data have to ask IP Infusion to develop the more features or upgrade the platform of the OcNOS or something. So now we just started the technical discussion with IP Infusion. So, but this is the opportunities for NTT Data to create the use cases. There are the four categories. The number one use case for telecom operators. The telecom operators, the CSP, now are trying to integrate the disaggregated network. So in Japan also, all of the operator already integrated the disaggregated network into their network. And in US, of course, in Europe, of course. So now is the disaggregated network or open networking is becoming popular. So the next stage, in this next stage, we need to consider how to utilize. Sorry, go back to the previous slides. Yes. We need to think about how to maximize the utilization of the disaggregated network to reduce basically the purpose of the integration of the network, disaggregated network is to reduce the OpEx and the CapEx, but we need to consider more than reduction of the OpEx and CapEx. So the NTT Data are trying to develop the new solutions, especially for the monetization. The next one, use case of the data centers. NTT Data is a famous as the number 3 data center business companies around the world. So we need to consider, of course, how to utilize the disaggregated network into the data centers. Of course, we can reduce the cost of OpEx and CapEx, but we need to consider the reduction of the power consumption. As I said, there are a lot of the AI and generative AI services. So the power consumption getting higher and higher, more and more. So we, NTT Data said, the green and open data center is mandatory to progress the AI, the generative AI more and more. And the third one, the use case of large-scale network in non-telco. You can imagine, of course, there are a lot of company, and almost all of the company have their own network, especially the power company. They have a huge networks. So therefore, they have to reduce the network cost, of course. Not only reducing the cost, but also they need to create the new solutions with their existing network. So also the NTT Data developing that kind of solution with the power company in Japan now. So the last one, it's a very small amount of the business, or but anyway, enterprise use case for enterprise. There are a lot of the factory, there are a lot of the manufacturing company. So they of course have their own network. So firstly, they want to reduce the cost of network, but more than, as I said, we need to consider more than reducing the cost with open networking. Okay, this is the use case of OcNOS solution. Please go on to the next page. So this is the organization in NTT Data Center of Excellence. As I said, NTT Data is a Japanese company, but also a global company. So NTT Data has several branches and the Center of Excellence regions: Japan, India, Italy, Spain, UK, Germany, and South America or North America, of course. But now, Japan team, Italy team, and Spain team has integrated this aggregate network into their lab that include the OcNOS, of course. So therefore, we are thinking about how to collaborate internally and how to develop the cutting edge solutions based on the customer's requirement into let's say in Japan, from Japan, Italy, and Spain. So we are NTT Data are developing the solutions, global solutions. So in order to keep the development of the disaggregated network solution, then NTT Data needs the IP Infusion support. Especially, we need to consider how to upgrade the IP Infusion's OcNOS to meet the customer's requirement and to create or develop the cutting edge solutions on top of the OcNOS. Okay, so now you can see the Japan region. I'm reading the Center of Excellence in NTT Data Japan. So the next page, go to the next page, please. So I'd like to share the current situation in Japan lab that I integrated into the Japan lab. You can see the picture. Then we can. I integrated the OcNOS on top of the UFI space whitebox, but you can see also the Juniper and the Cisco's switches as well. So the reason why I put the OcNOS with UFI space into our Japan lab is because I want to make a comparison between OcNOS, Juniper, and Cisco's. So we already integrated the OcNOS into our lab. So therefore, it works very fine. It works very fine. So there are no technical issue, no performance issue, no feature issue. It's almost, yeah, it's same. It's same as the legacy route and switches. So the next one, what NTT Data Japan team want to do is to enhance OcNOS, the OcNOS with IP Infusion, of course. The reason why the NTT Data want to enhance the OcNOS is because, as I said, again, NTT Data want to develop the cutting-edge solutions. OcNOS is not just routers. It's an open network platform. So therefore, NTT Data, the system integrator or solution provider, have to create the new solutions with OcNOS. So we just started the technical discussion between NTT Data Japan and the UFI Space R&D team. So maybe in 3 months or 2 months, NTT Data might introduce the new solution with OcNOS. So thank you very much.
Okay, that's Doi-san. Thank you so much for sharing how we've been working together and your offer for our joint solution, and even some future information that you're sharing with us right now. You have some things cooking that are very interesting. So I think this is a great time for us to start the Q&A portion of our webinar. And as a reminder to everyone, please enter your questions in the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen and we will address them. And so what I would like to do now is to start the Q&A session with Doi-san. And what I wanted to do is to share a little bit with our audience, a little bit more perspective on NTT Data's decision to go with open networking. So as we know, there are many vendors in the industry. And so when you're selecting an alternative to incumbent providers, can you share with our audience, why did you select open networking? Why did you select an alternative with open networking?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the keyword is the disaggregations. You can imagine if you want to install the Windows OS or Linux OS, you can purchase the several hardware into the shop. So you can imagine in the IT industry, this aggregation is a common. This aggregation is normal, but in terms of a network itself, still there are no disaggregated network. So NTT Data easily imagine this aggregated network or open networking is coming into the IT network or network domain or something like this. And also I'm reading the Open Telecom Network in Japan, NTT Data Japan. So I'd like to promote our NTT Data solutions into this aggregated network. And actually, the IP Infusion, as I introduced, is a part of the IOWN community. So therefore, I'd like to collaborate working with IP Infusion to create the new solutions.
Well, that you have started this journey, so it is
Yeah.
a change. It is a change in your strategy. So anytime we make a change, we always have concerns. And I'd like to share with the audience, what were your top concerns at that time as you were deciding to make this change?
Yeah, the point is the open and the flexibilities. Open and flexibility. So I expect IP Infusion to develop the OcNOS with openness and flexibilities. Yeah, because there are a lot of the requirement from customer. I have, of course, and to meet the customer's requirement, of course, we need to develop the features, performance, upgrading based on the customer's requirement. But this is just my just my experience. But the legacy vendor didn't accept the customer requirement many times. So therefore, I hope the IP Infusion could accept the NTT Data's requirement based on the customer's requirement. So that's a top concern.
Yeah,
But of course, I believe the IP Infusion OcNOS have open and flexibility features a lot. So therefore, I don't think there are no concern about that topic.
we look a little, let's go back and even a little bit farther in our history together. So, you had some expectations, some concerns. We've been addressing these things working together. How did you originally find us? How did you come to know IP Infusion from the beginning?
Yeah, good question. It's 2022 Infuse event organized by Telecom Infra Project in Madrid. Yeah, actually, we met the first time in the Fuse event 3 years ago and discussed the potential of network disaggregation. Actually, the 3 years ago, I've been working on the Open RAN. It's an open radio access network. It's a mobile network. So I didn't know the IP Infusion, to be honest. But I had a discussion with the IP Infusion in the Fuse event. After the event, I checked the internal report, especially the IOWN internal report. So I found out the IP Infusion has developed IOWN solution. Therefore, I recognized the IP Infusion is a part of the IOWN. Yeah, actually, and after the huge event in 2022, yeah, I keep discussion with the IP Infusion teams, and now promoting the open networking with IP Infusion is one of my KPIs. So therefore, we have to
Yes, I remember our first
succeed.
meeting in Madrid at the Fuse conference very well. And
Yeah.
in fact, even just last year at TIPS Fuse conference, I was leading a panel about the global integration challenges for network disaggregation and open networking, because this is a topic that continues to be on all of the customers' minds. And that is exactly the topic that you're addressing. So maybe if you could share with our audience a little bit of your perspective on the key global integration challenges in creating an open networking solution. Any advice that you can share on overcoming the global integration challenges?
Okay, great. That's most important things.
Yeah.
Many customers, many CSP are trying to solve their challenges directly, as I said. But to solve their challenges, firstly, the most important thing is the network visualization. Network visualization. Otherwise, that they don't understand the real problem, the real challenges, as I said. So network visualization is the first step.
Yes.
And also for network enhancement, the autonomous network and monetization, net virtualization is the first step to proceed, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So as you've been working through these challenges, now you're starting to see adoption across your customer base. And so I want to, maybe explain to the audience, how is the adoption going across your customer base? Are there any regions that are adopting faster than others, or any regions that you are adopting first?
Okay, okay. For telecom operators, the integration is still early stage. And many CSP are still thinking about how to adapt open networking. And in Japan, all of the operator already integrated the open networking, but it's a first step. So therefore, maybe the US market is leading the open networking, but followed by Japan, UK, and Europe as well. But I think this is just the replacement of the legacy routers and switches. So no one develops the cutting edge solution on top of the open networking. So the next step, the first step, the replacement of the legacy router and switches. The next step is how to develop, what kind of solution we can develop on top of the open networking.
Yes, and to do that, I think that customers who want to deploy such a solution requires pre and post-sale support. And I know that's something that NTT Data has a specific focus on. So how do you provide the pre and post-sale support?
Yeah. NTT Data is a global company, and NTT Data has many network engineers globally, solution architecture, solution consultant, network specialist, and so on. So firstly, our solution consultant proposes a solution which meets the customer needs based on the discussion with customer. And in the post-sales phase, NTT Data has a managed service globally, so customer can select the managed service we served as well. Or if they want to operate themselves, then we can support. Yeah, we can assign the engineer for the post-sales or operations, and we are a global company, so some colleagues wake up. Maybe that means the 24/17 hours operation NTT Data provide. And also the NTT Data can propose to upgrade network for autonomous network, monetize network, and so on. The most important things. And also almost all of the CSP are interested in the monetization. So how to monetize the network, especially for the mobile operator, how to monetize the 5G mobile network. So to help the monetization, then NTT Data have been developing the solutions, several solutions. It's a part of the activity of the Open Telecom Network, we said OTN.
Okay, very good. And as you're providing these services, you've also been working closely with the NTT group companies. So I was wanting to ask you how NTT is using OcNOS and whitebox internally.
Okay. Yeah, we just started the lab verification, but there are several chances for internal use. Of course, NTT Group is a telecommunication companies. We have the mobile network, and we have a wired network, and NTT Data have a lot of data center. But the most important things, we are trying to integrate OcNOS into the NTT's commercial network. How to integrate the OcNOS into the NTT Data commercial network, that's the most important things. I want to just replace the legacy or existing router and switches with OcNOS, but I want to add value-added services with OcNOS. That's the point. Actually, I was the network engineer. 4 network engineers we don't want to replace the existing network element because it's stable. It's stable. Then if they have to change, exchange, or upgrade the network element with other vendors' network element, they need to consider the performance issue or a feature issue or other issues. So we need to consider that kind of the customer's concern. Then, yeah.
Very good. I hear what you're saying. So you're saying, so for customers who are looking for a migration path for next generation services, then OcNOS is the way to go. So this is the right selection for network disaggregation is when customers want a migration path for the next generation services. All right, very good. And we're getting a lot of questions through the Q&A chat, and I want to make sure that we have enough time to get to these as well. So I want to ask you my final question, and that is, what is the one key message you want to deliver to customers that are considering network disaggregation?
Okay, finally, again, open networking is to integrate the open network platform. So if you consider the reduction of TCO continuously, I propose you to start the consideration of the integration of open networking.
All right, very good. So you're offering a TCO value proposition to your customers who want to go with network disaggregation.
Exactly. The point of the TCO.
Okay, very good. And so if we can look, I'm just checking. There's one very interesting question. I want to read this one out. So it says here, the obstacle besides integration and interoperability. How about the conservative telco culture? NTT may be an early adopter, but many parts of telco world still prefers the safe and proven over the open and flexible. What is the strategy for this internal resistance and risk-averse culture that slows down broader adoption? So great question. So how do you overcome the fears and challenges of a risk-averse culture?
Good question. Very nice. Yeah, actually, the NTT
Very good.
group, our sister company, NTT East, West, and NTT Docomo and NTT Communication are facing the same situation, the challenges. Of course, I think this is just my opinion, but almost all of the operator in Japan are conservative. So as I said, it's very nervous about the replacement of the existing network elements. So therefore, as I said, they you can imagine there are the several social issue in Japan, the power consumption issue, population issue or something. So to meet the existing situation, then they have to reduce the TCO and also they have to integrate autonomous network and hyper automation. So in order to that's a point. This is the just integration of the OcNOS or just integration of the open networking. It's not the purpose. The real purpose is to reduce the cost, and to reduce the cost, they have to integrate, let's say, the open autonomous network or something. So we are NTT Data focusing on the solution on top of the disaggregated network. That's the point. This is my strategy.
Very good. And so someone's asking, will the total solution be available across Europe or Japan only?
Excuse me, what's the solution?
Yes, will the total solution be available across Europe or Japan only?
Globally, of course,
Yes.
global, of course. Sorry.
Yep. Yep. And so another very interesting question is about the service model. Very good questions here. So will there be local SLAs? So next business day replacements, on-site deliveries. Will these things be available in Europe too?
Yeah, of course.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Actually, you can imagine that all of the Japanese customers are demanding super demanding. You have to replace the next day based on the customer's requirement. Of course, even in 2 hours, if something happens. So therefore, we have a global company, so we have a lot of the engineering tools, resources. So therefore, we can support the customer's requirement anytime.
Okay, very good. And so yeah, I'm just checking to see because we have so many questions, but you've addressed many of these already. So you have someone's asking about the use cases. So you have shared about the use cases for enterprise, for data center, your value-added solution that you're working on. I think what you have been talking about for your migration path for the next generation services. So it's not just a switcher or a router, it's also an open networking platform for your customers to design their own services on top. All right. And we have received, has this been communicated to all NTT globally? And is there a specific team within each country that will drive this? Or,
Oh,
very good question.
yeah, very good question. Yeah, actually, I and my colleagues organizing the global team to progress the disaggregated network. But we have a Europe team and a Latin America team and a Japan team and the Italy team. Almost the global teams we have in terms of the disaggregated network.
Right.
So yeah.
Very good. So we are now out of time. In fact, we have gone a little bit over time. Doi-san, thank you so much for the Q&A session. What we will do now, so we've done our best to answer all of the Q&As that have come through. Of course, we have Doi-san has shared his email address as well for everyone in case anyone would like to get in touch with him directly. And I do want to thank you, Doi-san, for joining us today, as well as the rest of our audience for attending our webinar. And with that, once again, greatly appreciate attending our webinar, and until next time, thank you.
Thank you.